Okay, welcome again. So now what I'm gonna show you is just how you're going to create these borders. You should know now how to create them, but I'm just gonna give you a quick demo of how you can do your borders with your fillets even faster than as we did before when we learn about all of our modify commands. So I'm just gonna erase one of these, okay, and I'm going to erase this one right here. And you should know the location of those borders based on the information that you have on page 13, 15. So it tells me to begin at 0, 0, and my first border or frame that was right here, it's going to be 4.5 units on the X direction and 4.75 on the Y direction, beginning at 0, 0. Now at this time, I will highly recommend that you have your dynamic input active or on. And remember, that's a F12 function. The F12 key on your keyboard turns it on and off. So I want to make sure that I have it on at this time. What I'm going to do, I'm simply going to create a rectangle. And I'm going to start, as my instruction says, at 0, 0. So I hit enter. Okay, and I can see my shape right here. And my next points are going to be 4.5, comma, 4.75. Those are my measurements. Now, what did I do wrong? Nothing. The only wrong thing that I'm doing is that I'm supposed to be in the correct layer. Remember, every time you work, you need to go and change to the correct layer. I'm supposed to be under frames. I changed the frames, but this didn't change, so I have to select it and perhaps simply go and drop it there. So now I am actually inside my correct layer. But look, so this one will have all corners with a fillet. So if you guys recall, fillet right here under our modify commands, I can click fillet, and the first thing I need to do is I need to go select my radius. And according to my instructions, my radius is supposed to be a 0.5. Typical top right corner says R 0.5 typical. That means all of the fillets that you will see in this exercise will have that measurement. So 0.5, enter. If I go the inefficient way, I can go here and there, and I can do it again. Select my radius, 0.5, enter, and I do it again, and I will have to do it 4 times, right? Or I can go again, fillet, radius of 0.5. It's already there, but I just want to make sure that I can have that in there so I don't use a different measurement. Then if I go to my option polyline, remember that if I just go and touch the object, it will do all of the corners at once instead of having to click each one of those individuals. So if I click there, boom, that's fast, right? Now check this out. If I go to the next one and I already know my location for this one right here, you will have that as well. So based on my information, my new frame right here, it's going to be at, it's going to start at 5 on X, comma 0 on Y, because it's starting at the bottom right here. See, but before I should have done this, if I go and I say rectangle, and if I look at my options down here, okay, on my command line, there's one that says fillet. So if I click fillet right there, and I said my fillet is going to be 0.5 because I know that's what is said on my instructions, and I click, and I'll say specify first point. Okay, now that's my second step, okay, and I go 5, 0. So that's my first starting point. See what happens now? It automatically gives me my fillet, my fillets, and all corners. So now I simply have to input my information. This frame is going to be 6 units on X. That's because I have my dynamic input active. And remember, when you have your dynamic input active, that behaves as your relative method. So it goes there, and I know I have 6 on X, and then comma 4.75 on Y, and I hit enter, and there's my, oh, what happened? Something froze. Okay, all done. So let me go back again. Something happened. Something froze right there. So rectangle, fill it, 0.5, enter. First point, it's gonna be 5, 0, enter. Second point is going to be 6, 4.75, enter. See, and it gives me my frame automatically with the fill in included. I just have to do it before I select my starting point. So rectangle, fill it, add your fillet, your radius right here. Once you do that, then you go and find your first starting point and then the second point, and you are done. And it will be a lot faster for you to create those borders. You will have the starting points of each one of this, and then you will be done. Now, for your text, just so that I can probably do one part of it. Let's say that you're going to start working, you already have all of your borders right here. Perhaps at this time it'll be a good time for you to use the snap mode, the F9 snap mode, for a little bit, only when you need it, not at all times. But at this time I think it's helpful because you're going to go in the middle right here. So if I want to start working on that, I'm going to go to my text. Okay, and let's say that I'm ready to start my typing right here. So the first thing I need to do, I need to go select the correct text style that I need. So for the very top part right here, your exercise says that you're going to use the Swiss 721 BDOULBT. So it's going to be this one right here. Okay, and it's going to be single line. So it's going to be justified top center, and it's going to have a height of 0.625. So if I go and I said, okay, my single line right here, and the first thing is going to ask me is going to be justify. And remember that if I need to justify it, I have to go justification, and it says that it's going to be top center. So if I go right here, top center right here, I said top center, and as I specify top center point of text. So according to my exercise sample, it looks like I'm gonna go somewhere right here. So I can see how this is giving me a starting point. So I go there, and then the next question is going to be specify your height. For this one, it's going to be 0.6250, which is 5/8, and I hit enter. And then it says specify your angle. I don't have an angle, so that's going to be a 0, and then it gives me that. And then it simply in capitals is going to say Bakersfield College, and then I hit enter and enter, and that takes me out. That is my first piece of text that I want. So that's how you're gonna do it. You're gonna go, and at this time your snap mode actually helps because it goes on 0.5 increments, as you saw in your settings at the beginning of your instructions. It tells you what to do, grid 0.5, then it helps you a lot. Okay, so that's basically what you're gonna do. I already did part of this. I did part of this earlier with the single line text with the fit option. So you have those different things. You're gonna center the text here. I'm gonna delete that one because you won't need it. So I'm gonna go and say delete. I'm gonna go and delete that because you're gonna put text and it's gonna be centered right here. You have all of your instructions. Okay, so hopefully this helps you to get the drafting part right here, the frames, all the frames together, and then you have the text, you have the gradient, you have the hatch, you have the splines to create or trace the map. You're able to bring in the image of the map, and so I think you're ready to go. So this will be all of the material that we needed to cover for unit 13. Be able to create text styles, be able to do single line, multi-line text, being able to do spelling. We saw that on the multi-line text, the ST for styles, to set up styles, M text, just multi-line text, D text, single line text. We can do hatch, we can use a spline, we can do a gradient, we can set up our limits. So that should cover our unit 13 material. So now you will go to your chapter, as I said at the end of the chapter, on pages 13-13 through 13-16, and then you'll be able to complete your text assignment. Okay, thank you very much.